cool. The next on the list here is 61% prefer a full acquisition, while 37% may consider a partial acquisition. Most buyers seem to be confident in their ability to scale the business on their own after a short transition period. I actually am a little surprised by these numbers, although I think it's good that, I mean, I thought it was going to be like 90-something% were looking for full acquisitions. I'm happy to see that there are some partial acquisitions. I think that those sales, in my opinion, probably have a better chance of long-term success when the original operator is involved and they aren't disrupting the entire flow. I know a lot of these aggregators have this arrogance of, we can pull all these businesses together and run them all better than any operator ever has, and maybe find out down the road that there's a little bit more to it than that. And if you're doing a partial acquisition or keeping the original owner and talent pool in place, I personally think that that's a better way to go.
So having a partial acquisition doesn't always mean that the seller remains. Sometimes they buy 80%, they leave 20% with the seller, and then the seller. Sometimes it depends on the deal. We have, for the larger deals, sometimes the seller wants to stay with about 20% and then have a second exit in a year based on the numbers, like the 20% based on the same multiple, but the numbers of next year. So sometimes it's just a partial acquisition without the seller. But now again, with larger businesses, they're now more and more asking the sellers if they agree to stay, and if so, for how long. They're trying to get, at least some of them are trying to get the seller on board. But the question was about, are you open to a partial acquisition or not? And I think that if we did this survey 2 years ago, it would be like 95% full acquisition and 5%, are open. Now it has changed. So, and by the way, we feel it has changed on the seller side. That's our next survey. But sellers 2 years ago, I don't know if you've noticed, but 2-3 years ago, when we asked sellers, would you stay with the buyer? Would you want? They're like, absolutely no. I mean, I'm independent. I work with. Now they see what's happening with the aggregators, and it kind of, they want to be part of it. So it depends on the seller.